If you haven't already, go watch part 1 of this series. I won't be going over any of those players in this video so I don't bore you guys with the same information or be too redundant. But now part 2 in this series will cover the players drafted before Rocket stud Alperen Sengun. He is broken out into possibly the leading most improved player candidate this season and has demonstrated a Jokic-esque skill set. He's a tremendous passer at the 5 position with great post moves and a soft shooting touch. With new head coach Ime Udoka, Sengun is getting more of the offense run through him and more opportunities to showcase his skills, which has unlocked his superstar potential. It's time for Sengun to get the recognition he deserves as one of the NBA's best centers and a possible all-star in a stacked Western Conference. He has helped turn the Rockets around as their current best player. Let's finish this series and take a look at the players drafted before Alperen Sengun, picks 9 through 15. At number 9, we have Davion Mitchell. He's coming to the NBA as an NBA-ready point guard, right? For the most part. He can shoot, pass, but really the main thing with Davion Mitchell is his defense. He is an excellent defender at that point guard position, but kind of unfortunate as of late, he's sort of fallen out of the rotation for the Kings, and his offense just hasn't really improved that much over the past few years, and that doesn't take anything away from his defense, right? He is still an excellent defender, but at least in games, the offense just hasn't been consistent enough, and Mike Brown has been going with Keon Ellis at that backup point guard spot. So at this point, it's kind of unclear what Mitchell's role will be going forward, and really what his future will be with the Sacramento Kings, because I guarantee he would have rotation spot in any other team, and even a lot of other contending teams as well, right? You need his defense and his stability at the point guard position. It's just unfortunate that his scoring hasn't really come along with that so far, but overall, Davion Mitchell should still have a pretty solid career, but it's unclear where that's going to be in Sacramento just because, like I said, he's kind of fallen on the rotation a bit. I'm sure he'll have an opportunity to get that back, though, and get more minutes, but at least for now, he's got to get his offensive game a bit more consistent. At number 10, we have Zaire Williams. He's kind of had an up and down career with the Grizzlies so far. Kind of got a lot of playing time his rookie season, but hasn't really the past few years. He is getting some more opportunity now, though, with a lot of the Grizzlies' injuries. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say what his career trajectory will be and what his future will be with the Grizzlies specifically, because he's a versatile defender, right? He's got length, he's got size, he can pass, he can shoot a little bit as well, but I don't think he's really been consistent and efficient enough on the offensive end. So it's kind of unclear whether the Grizzlies will keep him. I think they will, at least for maybe the next few years, but at least after that, it's unclear what his NBA future will be. But he is still relatively young. Like I said, he's got some potential. He's a good defender, solid overall player, can pass a bit, like I said, can shoot a bit as well. But yeah, like I said, it's just unclear what his future will be on the Grizzlies. But he's getting a lot of good opportunity this season. I hope he can take advantage of it. I think he's going to have a good NBA future in this league, but I think for him right now, it's just about finding his rhythm offensively on the Grizzlies. And maybe if that's with their team in the future, who knows? But overall, Zaire Williams, pretty solid player and just overall solid, versatile defender. At number 11, we have James Bouknight. His career hasn't really gone the way I think most thought, hasn't really gotten much playing time on the Hornets, and he's been inefficient when he has gone in, so yeah, kind of don't know what his NBA future will be at the moment, but he is a pretty talented scorer. I think for him, he's just got to be more efficient and consistent overall. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of unclear what his NBA future will be at the moment, and if another team would pick him up, if the Hornets waive him or don't re-sign him in next year's free agency. But yeah, just hopefully he can get his career back on track a bit. Hopefully he can find a way to at least crack the Hornets rotation. I know they're a little bit thin at the guard position right now, but hopefully he can break through, take advantage of some opportunity, and like I said, got some good scoring talent, so hoping his career kind of turns around for him a little bit, and maybe if he ends up getting an opportunity with another team, that might be great, just so he can maybe develop a little bit more as a scorer and a better all-around player. At number 12, we have Josh Primo. He had a pretty solid rookie season with the Spurs. Wasn't the most efficient, but you could kind of see the talent, and you could see why the Spurs drafted him this high originally. But unfortunately, pretty much within the first few games of his second season, he was waived and cut. He also had a major situation that I'm not really going to get into, but reportedly, I believe the Clippers did pick him up recently. He is on a two-way with them, if I'm not mistaken, but hopefully he can kind of bounce back from the situation that happened in San Antonio. He's still extremely young. He's got a lot of potential, a solid scorer, got some height at that guard position. So yeah, we'll see how his career pans out. Likely won't really get, though, the opportunity on the Clippers because they have Westbrook and Harden, Terrence Mann, and Bones Highland. But yeah, hopefully Josh Primo, he can, get some maybe playing time in the G League, find another situation for him, and just hopefully he can get his career back on track at some point. At number 13, we have Chris Duarte. He spent his first couple years with the Indiana Pacers, had a really good rookie season and started a lot of games, but kind of in his second year, didn't really get as much playing time, struggled with injuries, and plus the Pacers, they're really deep at the guard position as well, so his minutes were cut drastically as well, had some inconsistent playing time, so yeah, second season didn't really go like he thought, but now he is on the Sacramento Kings. The Kings trade for him in the offseason because Duarte had some good chemistry with Domantas Sabonis before Sabonis got traded to the Kings. So the Kings decided to trade for Duarte as well. He's been solid though. He's a good defender, 6'6", got good size at the guard position. Just his shooting hasn't really come along so far throughout the season, but I think he will be a major rotation player for the Kings here going forward. Like I said, he's got good size at the guard position, which I think is what the Kings want. And so yeah, hopefully, like I said, the shooting can be more consistent, and I think he will be a staple rotation player for the Kings here going forward. At number 14, we have Moses Moody. Obviously, somebody I've talked a lot about on this channel. But yeah, Moody has really stepped it up in his third year. Now he's averaging around 8 points per game. His three-point shooting is still kind of around, 35, 36%. But regardless, he's making all the hustle plays. Just a really smart player. Gets a lot of offensive rebounds. Can guard pretty much multiple positions, almost all 5 positions if we're being honest, maybe except the center position. But really, Moody, he's been excellent this year for the Warriors, been one of their main players off the bench. Just kind of a do-it-all, versatile player, can play to the guard or forward positions. Good shooter, smart player, good rebounder, good passer. Just a very good kind of glue guy and connective player. So I think he definitely has a long-term future with the Warriors. I hope they can re-sign him or at least find a way to extend him after this season. But yeah, Moody, he has been absolutely great. Not much more to say about him, but he's just been a really solid player for the Warriors, not just this season, but in the past couple playoffs as well. At number 15, we have Corey Kispert. He's easily established himself as one of the best shooters in the NBA. Now, the issues with Corey Kispert is that his game isn't really too expansive outside of that, right? He is a solid scorer, though, overall, but I think outside of his three-point shooting, he doesn't really give you much else. But the good thing is, like I said, he's been a very consistent and efficient three-point shooter so far throughout his career, and because of that, he's definitely going to have a long NBA career. But at least at this point, that's kind of his ceiling, right? Because that's kind of been his role so far in the Wizards, through kind of a tumultuous, I would say, the last couple seasons, maybe with, Bradley Beal injuries, and now they're, 3-20 as I'm recording this video in a bit of a rebuild. Corey Kispert, I wouldn't say he's kind of reached his ceiling as a player, but he's probably very close, right? Because his main role has primarily been, a three-point shooter and spacer. Like I said, though, he's a really elite three-point shooter, and that will keep him in the NBA for a long, long time, but can't really do much else outside of that, so that will probably be his career ceiling at this point. But yeah, that is the 15-player draft for Alperen Sengun. If you guys do want to look at players 1 through 8, go and watch part 1 to this series. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little 2-part mini series, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.